Hi, this is Jeff West, and the purpose of this video is to get you up and running with Apigee 127. I'll show you how to use npm to install it, and then talk about what the different npm configuration options there are for your environment. As a prerequisite, you need to have node.js installed on your machine where you're going to be running 127. If you don't have it, you can go to node.js.org and download it from there. When you do that, you'll get something called npm, which is the package manager for Node. And that is how Node programs typically get distributed. And that is how we distribute Apigee 127. It is MIT licensed and open source. So you can also get the source code on GitHub at github.com/apigee-127. So let's take a look at getting it installed. I'm going to be on the left side of the screen. I have a terminal window open. On the right hand side, this is the documentation, the wiki homepage for Apigee 127. And I'm going to be going through the steps here for installation. So if you were to do npm, npm install-g Apigee 127. The reason we do -g is because it puts, by default, it will put a127, which is a command line executable, on your path. So if you do this without sudo, you'll get an error. And this is with the default configuration, because what it's trying to do is write into user local lib, and it needs root permissions in order to do that. So this is the default behavior of an npm installation. So now if I do sudo npm, actually let's do this, sudo npm install Apigee 127, then you should see an output that looks something like this. Depending on what version of npm and node.js you have, you'll see a different output. Sometimes it will list the packages as they're being downloaded. This is a 1.2, let's see, npm-v 1428. So this means if you see output like this, it means it's successfully installed. If there's an error, it will probably tell you as such. Then once it's installed, do a127, you should see output that looks like this. Another option, if you don't want to use root privileges to install things, which is totally understandable, you should kind of understand the impact of using sudo, then you can also use something called the npm prefix. And this, so by default, Apigee 127 does not require root privileges to do anything. But since it's writing into the user local lib and user local bin directory to put the executables and libraries there, that is why you need sudo. And this is the case for every package that has a command line script, or every module that you want to install globally. So it's not specific to Apigee 127. The other option is to set the npm prefix. And there's some instructions here on our page to show you how to do that. And I'll show you how to do that here. So I'll do npm set prefix tilde npm. And now I can do npm install-g Apigee 127. In this case, it's going to write into the npm directory in my home directory. Here we go. So if we see where it wrote it here, it's in users, it's my Apigee laptop, npm lib node modules, Apigee 127. One thing that you need to be sure to do here, if I do which a127, it's actually here. The reason that it found it here and not user local bin is because bash profile, I have added the npm directory, npm bin, to my path. And if you want to use the a127 executable, you need to do the same. So that's about it. There should be it should be pretty smooth and easy to get it installed. I personally use this version, so I don't have to use sudo. It's just easier. And but this one is totally safe, not a problem. All it does is write to user local bin and user local lib, which is why it needs root privileges. Any questions? Find us on Twitter or open an issue on GitHub. Thanks.